is we want to start the group project. That way, we do not have a meeting next 2 weeks. So I don't want you to just hang around doing nothing. But yeah, we want to start today. Therefore, during next 2 weeks, including your Thanksgiving holidays, instead of eating too much, you can think too much. There's no way that you can think too much, but I want each one of you to be involved in a group, a team. I know all of you have that. Assuming that, then each group needs to discuss about research topics. So what you need to do is you need to sit together as a group and discuss. Each one brings up what you want, and you can speak and convince others. So if you bring one or more topics, then I want each group make it an informal presentation today. You don't have to come here, you don't have to prepare, but topic wise, I want you to say some. If you have more than one topic, then I want to hear also every other students, so that I can help you pick one if you have more than one, okay? And also scope. You need to think of how much that you want to do. If you, usually students are so ambitious. It's not really bad, but it is not good if you do it for your class project. Class, there's always the time limits, okay? So each group should bring one or more topics and present verbally, informally. Topics should be security issues on Wi-Fi or cell signals. You could do encryption technique, or there are not much you could do encryption technique, but you can implement some algorithms, right? Rather than concept development. Let me introduce this first. Okay. Project can be any implementation. Implementation is preferable. Implementation means implementation may or may not include coding. Some implementation is simply configuration and assembling. Some other implementation is purely coding, or some other implementation is the mix of those. That's the implementation. Implementation is very, very important and useful and help for you to bring it on your own to wherever you want to go, okay? Or if you started some implementation from this time, then later you can complete it. And also at the same time, you can continue to work for cyber skill competition. Okay, you do not have to complete whole big systems here within one semester. We do not have many weeks, right? Including today, I think about 5 or 6 weeks to go. Concept development. Those who do not want to do anything about implementation, then concept development is preferable, is recommended. It's more research, okay? For example, if you want to improve some encryption technique, if you do it successfully, then you can be hired by so many entities, even by NSA quickly. But we do not expect that. Uh, don't be um, too much ambitious. I want you to do one step further. Okay? Don't go, for example, 2 miles forward. It's almost impossible. Okay? Only one step at a time. Oh, you are one step to 2 miles. Then David, maybe 100th step. How about that? The point here is that make it something feasible. Okay? Don't do. Don't start with the big ambition, therefore incomplete. Finally. I'm talking about encryption, particularly. Encryption techniques that you know already have been designed and developed by not only one person, but tens or hundreds of PhDs working together, right? So don't, if you want to work on the concept development on encryption, make it small improvement. If you want to do encoding, for example, maybe possible. If you have some clear idea, you can make some breakthrough. Some of the architectural issue, you can bring up some black boxes, black diagrams, by adding one more block or by removing some block if there is some redundancy, or that block may reduce the performance. In such case, you can develop the concept. Literature survey. If you don't think you can develop a new concept or any improvement, then, and also if you do not want to do any implementation, then you need to do literature survey. The most important of a literature survey is that you have to read. You have to read at least 10 papers, 10 plus papers. If you do not read about 10 or more papers, your literature survey always incomplete, and there is always drawbacks. So I really strongly recommend you to read 10 or more papers to do literature survey. But anyway, in any case, all things should be security issues over Wi-Fi or cell communication, or even further. Although we didn't study in this semester, for example, RFID, radio frequency ID detector or generator. Or some other fringe range communication. Some of them will be you and I together to do this, to do that here. For example, radio wave frequency communication, or XB communication. Um, GPS communication. I have one small sensor, can read the GPS signals, but I don't have many, so that you cannot use it. But if you want to do, some other groups wants to do GPS signal and some manipulation, I can lend you. I can um let you use. The goal of today's meeting is select one topic per group. Okay, so once you decide the topic, then next 2 weeks you can do some more work, and then we'll do a plan of the project in detail. For example, job distribution among uh, the team members. You need to distribute your job, mission completion. Once you decide a topic, then you have to draw a black diagram, which subcomponents needs to be done. Then each block may be taken care of by one team member. Okay, that's what I want you to do. Right now. Okay, this is your website. For your midterm exam, well, you have only one exam, right? One exam, and basically one exam and one project. Module 1 and Module 2, we need to see what it is. Module 2, for example, this transmission fundamentals. I think that's a quick. Some of the concepts of frequency, wavelength, and those things needs to be clearly understood, and yes, right. Some students, I don't see any students picked up this LED signals using, LED communication using Arduino Uno. All the source codes given so that you can practice, but not from you. So, for example, here, a channel capacity. I want you to fully understand of this computation, right? Channel capacity, and that is one thing. And another, module 3, spread spectrum. I think some of the encoding techniques, how do you do, for example, CDMA encoding? Using some examples. That's what I want you to make sure that you understand this from module 3A. Another module related to that, with that, is encoding technique, real encoding techniques. So right here, for the signal elements, how can you I don't think you need this. No one listening. Okay. So about this will be asked, okay? Those who listened. Okay, module 4. Some of the concepts here, some short essay. For example, if I say why, okay? Yeah. In this case, yeah, some of here. So why? What is the problem of a CD, CSMA, CD? Why it is important? What is the resolution for that? Explained here. There. No. You have to listen carefully. Right. And then module 5, this is a real computation, right? Wi-Fi encryption. You know that there is an encryption algorithms. Not this, but yeah, RC4. As far as there is a clear computation, then you have to make sure that you understand, right? I'm not going to ask you full set of the recomputation. It takes so long. The exam is only 3 hours, so but I ask you to do a little bit of a computation on your own to make sure that you understand. Okay. Cellular. Also, there is some concept. For example, module 6 is the concept. Module 7, there's the encryption technique. Similarly, module 4 is the concept of Wi-Fi, and module 5 is some encryption. So there is some computation in the encryption. There's some concept. Therefore, I can ask you to do short answer. Okay. Don't describe whole essay. I do not want you to do. If I ask some, then maybe one sentence will be enough as far as you make it pinpoints. Cell security, there is also encryption techniques that we learned from A5 algorithm, right? Again, once you understand the size of the examples that we dealt with in class, then you will be more than enough to solve, which means if I ask some questions, then I want to reduce the size so that you can compute much easier, as far as you understand the concept. But if you do not understand, then still is not easy, right? So I want you to fully understand the examples covered in the class, in this slide. Then you can apply that. For example, in the exam, if you have this, then this is open book test, right? You can follow the stream described in the slide while you are solving the exam. Don't try to do from top of your mind, right? It's not easy to memorize all. You have to make sure that the flows, steps, procedures that you are now following is the same as what it describes in the slide. That way you do not make a mistake. So A5 algorithm. I think that's it, right? Yeah. If I ask you to draw, then I didn't decide how I. For example, if I can give you drawing, then you can numbers, or vice versa. If you need to do drawing, then draw it, scan it. Scanning time. Yeah. Yeah. Picture and then include it. Yeah, whatever you want. Yeah. There are so many ways that you could. Oh yeah, you can attach. Yeah. Hmm. I didn't ask you the specifics. I can make it. Yeah. I can make a yeah link. Yeah. Oh, is that right? Last time? Yeah. I'll make it. I'll make yeah something. Yeah, I think type of questions sometimes. Right. I think I can do that. If I don't do by mistake, then email always possible because the email has a timestamp. Yeah. Any five? Okay. She said five. About five. About five. Yeah. Okay, this is it for your midterm, no, your exam, not midterm, but your exam will be covered. Okay, so let's do some of the introduction of the Arduino preliminaries. Arduino is one of the MCUs. What is the MCU? Multi-college union, microcontroller unit. There are many microcontroller units available. Few well-known MCU listed here. Arduino, that's what we want to use. Raspberry Pi, BeagleBones. There are many others also. A lot of products from Samsung and Sony, Texas Instrument, right? Whole lot different scales. Some MCU is as powerful as, for example, $100,000 worth equipment by paying $200. Okay, why MCU is cheap but regular system is that expensive? Because the regular system has it's a complete set. MCU is a micro small sets of such. Arduino has digital pins and analog pins, analog inputs. Digital pins can be used for input and output. Many pins of digitals can modulate PWM, pulse width modulation pins, which means analog can be divided into many different number of digits, vice versa. Okay, that's a PWM. Analog pins is fixed, so therefore some of the pins for ground, some of the pins for power supply. Arduino itself needs some power, usually about 5 volt from outside or from your USB. From that power supply, Arduino also make power supply available for you to use. There are two types of voltages can come from, right? Arduino Uno has 6 analog inputs. We call that A0 to A5. And Megaboard has 16 analog inputs. Nanoboard has 8 analog inputs. This is an example. This is a picture of Arduino Uno. In Italian, Uno is also one. You count Uno? Is it your? I know Spanish, right? Okay. Very similar to English one, right? Okay. This side, that is all the digital pins. You can use any pins from pin number 2 to 13 But usually pin number 0 and 1 are allocated, separated. That is for transmitter and receiver. And then there is also ground. USB, this is, you can receive power through this USB and also program through this USB. You cannot do any program because it does not have any keyboard, it does not have any monitor. But as far as you connect this Arduino Uno to your laptop through USB protocol, then you can program it. In order to program the Arduino Uno, then you need to have IDE, integrated desktop editor. Yeah, some of those I'll let you know. This is a process, CPU. This is a memory. This memory here, then you can load some of the programs already developed and also some of the programs that you just programmed. Okay? Or you can save some data here. In order to save some of the data, then you need to do a separate program, EEPROM program, to save and read the data from there. It is a fixed size of data partition that you can use. Only, I think, 128 kilobytes. Usually, you cannot save more than that. What happens is that if you save it, then you can still save it, but it's self-looping. You can override. There's no error. It's still saving. Analog inputs, as you can see here, from A0 to A5, 6 pins available. And then there is a voltage, 3.3 volt and 5 volts. Those 2 volts can be used for external device. For example, if you want to run for communication, antenna itself needs some power, right? So power needs to be supplied from this. Originally, it can come from this or that. Okay. Then it generates by itself, some regulates, and then generates 3.3 volt or 5 volts. So you need to push the jumper cable and connect the other side to the device that you want to, or the device that needs the supply. Some of the reset button, maybe this is a reset button. And some of the LEDs already built. This is a built-in LED. So by blinking RX, TX, then you can see, oh, data is transmitted, data is received. This particular one's made in Italy, but now so many made in USA. Still Arduino. Different types, different features. Uno, this I prepared maybe 2 years ago. $30. Right now, how much? $10. If you pay more than $10, then it is ripped. Mega, still I think about $50. So mega, if you see here, so many pins, right? So you could do more. This is nano, this is very, very small ones. So if you have this can be embedded in any device, home appliance, or into your boots, or you can swallow it. So some signals comes from your, yeah, it's very small, like this, one finger, right? Can do all so much things that you can do. Okay, some control, some monitors, still possible by using this. Basically, they are doing all for programming, C programming, for continual monitoring, continual uh, performance. If you want to read the data continually, it could do. If you want to watch over some continually, still possible. This is our Arduino IDE that you need to download. So meanwhile, you have to download this IDE so that do some programming. This IDE is GUI based, so it is very, very simple to use. It's not command based. By clicking some to, for configuration. If you want to do command line, then there is a lot of very difficult ones. At the first time when I teach this, I use this AVL dude. AVL is kind of a microcontroller process. So you can control those things in command line. But we're not going to do that here, right? Make it simple, so let's do this. This is only for somebody who touch deep inside. Maybe cybersecurity professionals needs to look inside. In such case, you have to deal with that. Okay, this is an example. Let's see. Yeah, Arduino. Let's say Arduino Uno here. Okay, this is Arduino. This is our laptop. In this laptop, there will be this IDE. So you can program here and compile, make sure it runs, statements are valid, and then you can upload. Once it is done and upload, here if you click upload button on your laptop, then that program uploaded to the Arduino. After that, you don't need to do this connection. As far as you have external supply, power supply, or some dry cell, like batteries, it works its own way. Okay. For development, we need IDE installed on the laptop and connect by USB lines. Okay. Like this. Once you upload and Arduino Uno runs properly, then do some power supply from here there. Okay. This is using USB. Once you click your laptop, then you may see some of the LED blinking, right? So that there is a TX for transmission, RX for receiving, can be shown. This is a IDE setting, the configuration. You can choose the board, see your board. Choose, if you want to do, for example, Arduino Uno, then you need to choose Arduino Uno. If you want to choose Arduino BT, for example, Bluetooth, Arduino itself has Bluetooth embedded, imprinted, so it can communicate with your Bluetooth. Well, many others, right? So Arduino, you need to choose Arduino Uno here. And also you have to make sure that serial ports configuration. Without selecting properly your board and serial port, you cannot do program. Your program is uploaded through serial communication, through the serial port. From my experience with the students' lab, some students' laptop has some problems of providing serial ports. Then you have to do a lot more things on your own, a lot of hassle. You have to first to download some program to make a port available. So once you know the port assignments, for example, port number, not like this, okay? Some port number needs to be assigned. If you don't see port number here, then go to Windows Device Manager and make sure that that USB port is recognized. If it is not recognized, then there is another program you have to download and make it available. Even if your laptop is not working, then replace your laptop. Olivia, why? Your MacBook has no such a problem at all. Don't worry about something that you do not have. All right, this is something that we need to do. After that, this is in the same IDE. You need to do C program. Your C program is very simple. Usually, when you learn programming, the most important caution is that your program should not run infinitively. So you have to always check the terminal condition. That's what you've heard from your instructors, programming courses. Here, it is not the case. You need to make infinitive loop. What does that mean to you? It continually do the same thing that you programmed. Continually. As far as there is a power, then it runs continually. That's the whole point of installing MCU, right? So MCU do some work on behalf of you while you are sleeping, right? Or eating. It's like your clone, robots. So there is a button for upload, button for compile, right? Usually, once you make that and click compile button, and if there is no error, then upload. Then your program can be loaded on your Arduino Uno. Technically, after that, you can unplug and your Arduino Uno will work as far as there is a power supply. Okay. So this is it for preliminaries. Any question about this Arduino Uno? If you want to work on for yourself, you can buy Arduino Uno. It's only $10. But I can provide you if you do not want. I'm not sure how many Arduino Uno that I have, but if we do not have enough, then you can share, right? 2 people can share one. So a little bit of programming with the Arduino Uno. By that time, if we receive the parts already ordered for tech nights, as I explained, 2 types of devices that we want to have. One device is GPRS, General Packet Radio Service, right? Some devices can do. So if we do some of the configuration, then that device will work as if one of your smartphone. You can talk, you can listen, you can send the text, you can receive text, right? There's one device. I ordered, I think 20 parts. So if we receive them, then each one of you can practice. There's for cellular portion. Another one is for Wi-Fi, no, not Wi-Fi, radio wave communication. Radio wave communication. Can sit on Arduino, so 2 Arduino can communicate some data messages, okay? So we can send some of you to the dormitory. If not all, then 1. And then we can talk.